southpaw, right-hand forwards. The tall, nicknamed the gifted one, Gary Stretched. Self-named, I think. There it is. He's certainly got the advantage in height there, but the stripe chunks of the Argentinian, straight from the Tito Lectori camp, the promoter at Luna Park. He really does bring him off the conveyor belt, tough as old boots, all of them. So he badly needs work, as they say in the boxing game. Last opponent was ruled out by the Boxing Board of Control, and he's had a bad time with hand injuries, but seems to be okay now, the British champion Stretch. For this fellow, Sena, he lasted a distance with Jorge Castro, who's now number 2 in the World Boxing Council rating. So that is a good performance. So he's going over there, Tony Walker, and saying to Tito Lectori, warn him, who understands more English, obviously, than his fighter, to watch the head. The referees do go into the dressing rooms with the foreign fighters to try and explain the difference in British rules. For instance, there's no mandatory 8 count. When they're up and they're waved on, it can be at any stage of the count. That only happens in championship fights. Dresses for the part there, Stretch. Does a bit of modelling. Some very attractive young ladies followed him into the ring, and presumably if he wins, well, we might get a song and dance from them as well. Well, he's roughing this up now, and I think he'll probably say, well, where I come from, we're always banging heads like that. What are you worried about? So, Jim, 30 seconds to go. What are you weighed up so far in this contest?
Yeah, well, he's certainly crude, to say the least. He certainly looks strong enough and durable enough. Whether or not he tests Stretch is one thing, but I think there's a possibility he could test his hand injury, because he's shown him plenty of head, and it looks hard enough.
Well, the record says, and he confirms, Senna, that he's never been stopped. So he's got to watch now, Stretch, that he doesn't bang his hands up trying to nail this fellow. So there it is then, the rundown on Gary Stretch with the new trainer there in his corner, Jimmy Tibbs. 21 loss, that was with a cut eye back in '85 to Julian Montville. But there it is, he can fight as well as his new trainer now, he'll be all right. And there's the other fellow, both the same age, and as I say, although he's lost 2, he hasn't been stopped, but he's only stopped 3 of those 9 wins and started distance. There's Tito Lectori, the hard man of the Argentine boxing ring, really knows the game. Second round then, taken for 10 at light middleweight, 11 stone 2 Stretch, 2 pounds above the light middleweight limit, and Sena is 10 stone 12. He seems almost surprised, the Argentinian. Why don't you let me get on with the work, Jim? He seems a bit upset.
He's crude and untidy, but at least he wants to get down to action. But he's not really giving Stretch much of a chance to show the skill we know he has there, because it really is untidy. Here we go, another wrestling match now.
a shame if he got disqualified here, Sena, because he looks capable enough, but he's... I don't think he quite realises that there are times when British referees can be just a little bit firm about such things. Not obeying the Marquess of Queensberry rules. I'm wondering if Stretch realised that Sena, in fact, was a southpaw when he came in with his mate. Oh, tried to hit him on the floor there. Now that he would have been disqualified, no question, if that one had landed, Jim.
No, I think Stretch has a slight problem. I mean, that's a punch that should not really have put him over. OK, it's certainly caught him by surprise. But you got to look for a British champion to be able to take a shot like that, and he's badly shaken. He hasn't recovered yet. Look at his legs.
Well, this is the wild bull of the Pampas if ever I've seen one here. Minute to go. He's got to hang on and punch his way out of this one, Stretch. He really is throwing himself, isn't he? Pulling the Stretch round. They're both claiming. What a rough fight. He was originally due to fight Chris Pyatt, and they swapped over, and his stablemate Dominguez was matched with Pyatt. Keeps getting tagged, Jim, doesn't he? As we get the countdown here.
Yeah, well, Sena's awkward. He doesn't do anything by the book, but you still got to be able to cope with it, and he's under extreme pressure here. He's badly shaken again. He's going to have to find a punch to upset Sena with his... he's trying to duck and dive, it's not working. He's going to have to come back with some decent punches of his own.
After the bell stuff, and they're going to be pulled apart here. This is absolutely ridiculous. And I tell you what, it's leading up to a disqualification, if not a double. And he wants to go back in again here, Sena. Lectori's saying, what are you doing here? And whacking him. The manager can punch a bit as well. And he's saying, hey, we don't get paid for fighting between rounds. What a tough nut. And I tell you, the referee's he's really got a tough one to handle here. And he's warned both boxers, by the way. But it certainly was started, no doubt, by Sena there.
Jab, then a double jab, then one choke. Right, you're not finding with that all up in the middle yet.
Jim, there it is again.
Well, it's certainly an exciting round. Overcome the swing, bang on. It caught him bang on the chin. He was pulling back away from Sena. See, I think Stretch is out and almost hit him on the floor.
Well, the crowd are really enjoying this one, even though it's hardly Marquess of Queensberry stuff. I'll tell you what, the old wrestlers, McManus and Pella, would have been jealous of this one.
Well, Sena is doing some strange things, but Stretch can't afford to do the same. When he has to keep his composure about him, has to keep his chin down, he just starts sticking that jab in Sena's face. It's no good if he starts swinging around, throwing silly punches.
And now it's Stretch's turn to put the head in now. Well, I don't know how he's going to cope with this, Walker. You know, Jim, this would be a bad thing if it's a double disqualification here.
Yeah, well, it could happen because they're both flaunting the rules, and that was Stretch. Really shoving his head into Sena's face there.
We're always on about boxers having to have great control in the ring, but I'm afraid this one, they've really blown it here. Oh, what a shot. Now that's the one the crowd wanted. It's certainly the one. And he's out on his feet, and the referee is going to stop it. What a win this will be for Stretch. No, he isn't. He's letting him go on. He doesn't want any complaints from the Argentine corner. Now, he's got to control himself here, Jim.
Yeah, well, that was a cracking punch. It was exactly what was needed. But here's Sena punching in the back of the head. This really is the dirtiest little character I've ever seen for a long time.
Fancies the task a bit more now, doesn't he? Stretch there, and see, I don't blame him for throwing Sena off there. He's got no option. This referee's going to get clipped to certainty here. Tell you what, Jim, we might move out the commentary position if they come through here like that. I mean, you weren't bad at it, but I'm gone at the game.
Well, Sena's been, Stretch is looking a bit more business-like now. And that's just giving him the confidence he needs. He has the power to get that man out of there, and I think the sooner the better, and that's exactly how he feels. Still a bit dangerous with his head.
Whoop. He thinks the bell's an intolerable interruption. I think he'll claim he's a bit deaf. It's even Tito Lectori, an old hand like him, the manager, just can't calm this fella down. Hitting him on the back of the neck, really yelling at him. What is this all about? If you get disqualified, you'll lose your money. Jim?
A lovely punch. Stretch has his act together now, throwing good punches. There it goes. Missed with the left, bang on target with the right.
And the overhead camera view, there it is.
Stretch has so much talent. Thankfully, he started using that talent now.
Jab, crack, whip over the top. Or jab, whip, crack over the top. Right? Now take a deep breath and relax. Watch your head, watch your head. Right, watch your head, son. Stay here, don't come out yet. Watch your head.
Fifth round, scheduled for 10. Thought too much about points at this stage, Jim, but obviously Stretch must be ahead.
Yeah, well, Sena really hasn't thrown any worthwhile punches apart from the wild swing that bowled Stretch over. But he's beginning to swing again now. The previous round he was just kind of looking after himself and bulldozing inside, but now he started these kind of dangerous looking swings again.
Sure, he should let himself be perched on the ropes like that. Stretch, he might be using him a little bit to his advantage. Now he's switched it around the other way. That's better. You've had the inactivity now that Stretch has had, Jim. This is the last sort of opponent type that you needed, wasn't it? A southpaw who's like a wild bull.
That's exactly it. The Stretch obviously looking to get his technique polished up and his timing put together. And this is the last man you need for that. He's just doing everything out of the ordinary, everything awkward.
Amazing, really, Argentina, the way he's changed. Oh, what am I saying? He's going to get disqualified for that. He stopped it, and it looks to me as though he should be disqualified for that. Time out. No, he's not going to, because he's asked to take time out to the timekeeper. Otherwise, he would have made it pretty obvious. What does he have to do to get disqualified?
Should be out of there, Reg. That was two shots a couple of seconds apart while Stretch had stumbled over on his knees. Sena should no longer be in there. The referee's given him too many warnings. They're not working, so now it's time to get him out of there.
just watch him perform when he realises the referee has disqualified him. We'll put our tin hats on, Jim.
See, I don't know if Sena actually wants to be disqualified to get out of there. Maybe he thinks he'll still pick up his full wage, but he could be in for a shock if he ends up being disqualified.
Yeah, some of that money goes to, well, all of it goes to the Boxers' Benevolent Fund, by the way, at the Border Control. So they quite welcome a disqualification for that point of view. And what a great sidestep on the bell. Well, if only we could understand, but I think the actions are good enough there with Tito Lectori saying, what are you doing? Well, there it is again, Jim, now.
Well, Stretch stumbles over here under, look, one punch, a couple of seconds later, another punch. No way should he still be in this fight.
If you unbalance him with that jab, he will go. We've had him on that once. How'd you feel? All right. Breathe deep, though. Breathe deep. Shield. Shield then. Shield. Shield. Come on, son. Look, we just set the place up. Find him with that jab, go. Hook him off the jab, right hook, left cross, right hook. Go on. Don't forget, let yourself go.
Round 6. Now, scheduled for 10. Can this little fella, Rafael Sena, really get away with this flouting the rules the way he has? As though he's parked them at the front gates here on the Docklands in London. And I understand the Boston Border Control have already firmly told the manager if he gets disqualified, he gets no money. I don't know why he bothers to try and hit somebody's when they're down, Jim. When he try and hit them when they're standing up, that's what it's about.
Yeah, I was beginning to get the impression that he just wanted out of there. I mean, he's not been the least bit smart. Oh, good punch from Stretch.
Well, maybe Stretch can carry the decision in the gloves, as they say, for a change. Was that the old line they used to use? The referee is in both his gloves. Oops, there he goes again. Minute to go in the 6th. Oh, that was the one. Oh, he was up. It looked like he was going to have a go, but he actually fell over him, Jim, didn't he? And he did well, Stretch, to pull those punches back, because that would have been really a problem. Slipping on the water in the corners there, that's another problem there. You've really got to watch that at boxing shows and keep them much cleaner than do they tend to pour water over like a shower bath in the corner. Oof, the head's banged in there. It's almost like a snooker match, that one. The old referee's been a bit brave here, Jim. I don't think I'd be too game shoving this fellow off and waving fingers at him. Especially with that weight he's got to carry around if he wants to do a runner.
Looking good, shielding. Deep breath, Gary. Deep breath, son. He's just tough, he's just strong.
9th round then, and Gary Stretch, the British light middleweight champion, I must have been very surprised by the first visit, presumably the last one, of Rafael Sena from Argentina. They're now well on top in the scheduled 10-rounder, but suffering more than he needs of cuts and bruises of battle, particularly a nasty one right on high on the head there. Well, this late in the contest, Jim, it really recalls a bit of a hoop, certainly from the Argentines' corner, not necessarily from the crowd if they throw Sena out at this stage. It looks like the referee might just tolerate it, unless it's a ridiculously blatant foul.
Yeah, well, I think even Sena, but his standards have settled down a little bit. I think the news about disqualification, meaning no money, has maybe done the trick. He's tidied up slightly, and not quite so blatant. Oh, they ran in again there. That was more of an accident, though, really, Jim. It's the only time I'll give somebody else's cut there by the look of it. Well, it looks like Stretch's nose is in more trouble. He's just recovered from a broken nose, I believe. Well, I think he may be going back for some more treatment. Because that was a clash of heads where he really come off worst. And it looks as though he's cut over the top of the left high, Jim, but in the 9th round, I mean, he really has gone through it here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, not again. Not again. Has he disqualified him? He wants to have a look at this now, and it'd be terrible if he stopped Stretch. No, he's letting it go on. But obviously, if the injuries are bad enough, Jim, he's got to stop it. But, it would be a bit of an injustice, wouldn't it? I think we've reached a stage where no matter how bad the cut Stretch is, I think it'd be a disaster if he stopped the fight and they sent him home winning this contest, because he should have been out of there 4 rounds ago at least. It would have been such an easy way out too for the referee early on, Jim, and now he's in trouble late in a contest like this, making that decision. Well, Tony Walker looks like he's been working in a butcher shop lately, doesn't it?
Walker, then you're pissed on, so you don't need to have a fight. Literally, you understand? Just sit this gently, keep that jet going, right? Sit down there, sit off to it. Listen, you keep yeah, don't get it. You've got to keep away from him. Don't get involved now because that comes over and you're in trouble.
Second down, 10 and last.
Well, keep away from him there, Stretch is second to saying, don't get in trouble now. And the bell's gone and they're still in the ring. And cleverly sneaked the last second. Well, if ever I've seen a phony handshake, that would be it, Jim. Well, if I'd have been a betting man here, Jim, I tell you what, I'd have lost money on the fact that this has gone 10 rounds after what we saw at the off.
Yeah, and I really feel sorry for Stretch because all the injuries he's picked up, he's done so after the fight should have been stopped by disqualification.
first minute gone of the last round then. Gary Stretch has won it by a mile, but what a price he's had to pay. Crazy enough, Jim, Tito Lectori, the Argentine man, is actually chatting away to the British Border Control Dr. Adrian White, and I imagine he's saying, why hasn't the referee stopped it because of Stretch's injuries?
Yeah, it's quite possible the referee has himself in an embarrassing position, because there's no way the fight should have reached this stage, and what an injustice it would be if Stretch lost it.
Exactly. So a minute left. Tell you what, Jim, when the going got tough, you could rely on Stretch anyway. He's shown his grit, hasn't he, here tonight? Yeah,
well, he did that before against Gary Cooper, and he's had to do it again. Certainly brave enough.
And before that great battle with Dennis Cronin at the Albert Hall. So there it is. He's obviously going to survive now, Stretch. Can't be pulled out of it. It really would cause an uproar if that happened. But only just. He was in trouble a bit there. He stumbled forward, Stretch. It's too late for a knockout anyway now. The bell would stop it. And while the referee's holding him, he's still throwing punches. And is he pleased to hear that bell, the referee? Because I think he would have disqualified Sena there had that been at the start of the round. And there he gets the formal decision. I don't know why he's bothering to pull his scorecard out. And Gary Stretch, after all that problem, wins it on points.